For £9 a year, Neil and Zoe Stewart have rented an allotment.
So I think we've broken the back of it.
James is going to help them make a go of it, and obviously he'll get his kit off. And we catch up with Maggie Pete. Her caravan is finally leaving. And now that she's got her garden back, we're going to help her build a wildlife pond. And you'll be glad to hear I keep my kit on.
It's a really hard job. You've got to travel around Britain, find gorgeous places where people are trying to be green and just have a chat with them. Somebody has to do it.
My parents bought this house in the early 80s, you know, as kids growing up here, we had the free reign of the gardens, we had got the sea, we've got acres of woodland. But the house itself was built in the 30s, and it was actually built for the mistress of the landowner. And it was all very open, you know, the wife knew about it, and it was only ever intended as a summer house.
But now Matt Goldschmied wants to use the place all year round.
So we do have a big problem with our heating, which, with no mains gas supply, we've got to rely on oil. And that costs us, on average, a year, somewhere in the region of £3,500. So from that point of view, our number one priority is to ditch our reliance on oil.
Matt's oil-guzzling boiler has to go, and he wants to design a new heating solution which will be cheaper, greener and better for the planet.
Oh look, that looks like the seaside. We're in the New Forest, and Matt lives a mile and a half away from the road. It's quite fun. Being green down here makes a lot of sense, because I can't imagine that he likes shipping all his wood or coal or gas or oil along these roads. Hey, that's not too shoddy, is it?
That's not too shoddy, no. I mean, this is the whole point of this house. It was built as a summer house.
A summer
The
house?
estate owner. Just the summer house. And that was the coach house, yeah. And,
well, OK, for what you're trying to achieve, coming straight to the chase here, gorgeous house, big.
Yep.
And what sort of windows and things? What sort of insulation?
Single glazed, timber frame.
So when you put heat in it, it comes out of it?
Exactly.
All right, so
exactly.
It doesn't stay.
Drafts everywhere.
Right.
I've got to see the old boiler for myself.
But
it's warm. Is it heat?
It is. Yeah, boiler's in there.
I can't see the boiler. You can't just sort of tease me and say, yeah, the boiler's in there. What sort of, how much are you using?
Oil?
Yeah, go on.
It's hideous. About 10,000 litres a year. Yeah, I mean, that works out at, you know...
Sense of humour?
£4,000 a year.
OK.
It's ludicrous.
Matt plans to solve this problem in a pretty radical way. He wants to abandon most of the building in the winter months and completely redevelop this small coach house on the end.
That looks gorgeous.
It does.
As a coach
We're going to
house.
knock it down.
It's not very green. You know that. You know, just on a serious note, if you're
Really?
actually... Well, if you've got a building, that's sitting there like that, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to generate all this waste from it, yeah? Is it listed?
No.
Right, can we talk to somebody, please? Get it listed before he gets it done.
In Yorkshire, Neil and Zoe have also got a bit of a challenge on their hands. Luckily for them, it's a slightly cheaper one.
If you can find your way in, this is our allotment. We don't want to take on too much, but we've got blank canvas, so
No, this isn't a blank canvas. This needs taking back to being blank, I think, doesn't it?
What we're thinking of doing is coming up and stripping it, and then using black plastic to actually cover it and try and kill get the weeds to die off underneath it.
Black plastic isn't a very green option. James will put them straight and make sure they do some graft instead.
Up for a pretty hard day's work. We've got quite a lot to do, I think. Hey.
How are you?
How you doing?
Hi. Come prepared, at least.
Do you know how to scythe?
No.
All right, well, let's get started. Yeah, I've got a sharpening thing. Sharpen it up like that. You need to sharpen it probably every 5-10 minutes just to make sure he's not wasting anything. So it's just... Yeah, have a go, see how you do.
I thought you were going to do it.
No, I'll do lots more in a second. Just have a go and see what you think. Yeah.
A plot this size is not for the faint-hearted, but you don't need much space to grow organic vegetables. So start small and only plant what you have time to look after.
How much did it cost for your allotment?
It's £9. Is it £9 a year?
£9 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Pretty good value, really.
Yeah, and you get a free membership to a gym. It's an outdoor open-air gym.
Found this under the hedge over there. It doubles up as a riddle. If you can
Excellent.
sort of spade some soil there,
Yeah, no worries.
I'll give it a shake and then we can actually get this to be a bit finer. All the leftover stuff from this is just throw on the compost heap.
Yeah.
Matt plans to replace this coach house with a super efficient new build. So at least you'll have one area that's cheap to heat. Is what you want very different from what you've got there?
Not hugely, no. However, the reason we decided to look at demolition was because the cost of repairing what's there, which has been neglected for the best part of 20 years, is going to be quite significant. And we decided that
Understood.
it was worth, as it were, starting again. So what it will become is a 3-bedroom with a 4th study bedroom, which can be a winter dwelling, which is super efficient, rather than having to rely on the house, which is super inefficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
in
has a
the
larger floor area.
winter, anybody wants to be here, they encamp into the small part.
Exactly.
Of it,
Unless there's, all the family down, which can be up to sort of 15, 20 people.
Empty or not, the main house will deteriorate rapidly if it's not heated at all.
And if you are going to have to put heat into it to stop the place from gradually rotting.
Yes, yeah.
So 6 months of the year, if that's not to be used, if you're not careful, you could end up with bigger bills.
I see.
Matt has budgeted £200,000 to demolish and rebuild the coach house. But I don't think knocking this place down is the answer.
This is a lovely room.
Absolutely. This is what we want to keep as a reminder of what was here before. If we do.
This feels like a coach housey type location, doesn't it? Huh. That's gorgeous.
Well, that's it. Now, our plan currently is to have an entirely glass gable end from ground floor right up.
Yeah.
And
What's south? Sorry, south is what's south?
south down that way.
Yeah, just let you ride.
Size, as they say, doesn't matter. Whether you've got a tiny terrace or a huge house, the trick is to take full advantage of whatever you've got.
So you got lots of. See, that's all south. Lots of sun.
Tons of sun. Yep.
Matt has a big decision to make.
So
If he demolishes the coach house and rebuilds it, he could run out of money before he sorts out the main house, which will continue to hemorrhage heat and cash.
oh look, he's got more paperwork.
I've got lots of paper. I did some calculations myself, which.
Good. You thought I was going to come along and just wave a little magic wand?
No, I knew actually this morning when I woke up that it was going to get more complex before it got easier.
Thank you very much indeed, mate. Yeah, that was a real pleasure. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And what's more, when you've done all your thinking and you know where you're going, give us a call, come
I
back.
will do. I will
And if I
do.
come back and it's halfway down, I know you've made your decision. Listen, look
right.
after yourself.
Take care.
Speak to you soon, Matt. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
I do hope I haven't sort of taken him off track, but at this stage, it's time to think. And it's only after he's been through all the thought processes that he should be committing to it. And it's a big old task. Those two properties together use a lot of energy, and it's got to be as efficient as he possibly can.
Ta-da! These are from New House Farm. It's rainbow chard, sage, rosemary, and this is pak choi. This grows massive.
Fantastic.
It's really good stir-fried
very
with
nice.
sort of cashew nuts and spring onions
Yeah.
and soy sauce. You'll love that.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we'll have to get them in before.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
And then we've got rhubarb to plant as well.
And we've got some rhubarb plants to go
Add
in,
some
yeah.
onions as well.
And some onions.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we better get on. Getting straw, a bale of straw, keeping it in your shed, and then coming out, placing it all the way around. It's quite a good mulch in itself because what it does, it stops weeds, keeps the moisture in say, the summertime. So if you put straw all the way around the plants and all on the bed, you get really, really good growing. It just encourages the vegetables to do well.
I just think it's been a real success today, and having the help and the support and the knowledge, I really feel like we've made progress, really enthused.
Yeah, James has come up with some absolutely brilliant ideas that we wouldn't have come up with. We've made more progress than we could ever have hoped to make by ourselves in a day.
I think you should quit while you're ahead, James.
How's the water back doing?
Yeah, not very well. The guttering's a bit poorly.
Yeah.
And it's quite sheltered under there.
Yeah.
We were sort of half thinking about putting up some kind of structure, like freestanding structure.
I've got this really good bottle story from Nepal. And basically, in Nepal, for rainwater harvesting things, they recycle their plastic bottles or reuse them, and they actually link them together, chop them in half, and use them as guttering. If you collect them, we could start reusing them to do the guttering, to save buying it from a hardware store.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That might be fun.
Yeah. Trial and error. James, I thought you said this was easy. How do they then fix it together?
Well, I think we're lucky enough to have gaffer tape, but then...
Should just stop it twisting off, shouldn't it? Yeah.
Did you lay one on top of the mother going on here? It's got it. We got a bottle to test it with.
We've run out of bottles.
You tied up there.
I think we leak through.
Whoa. Whoa.
Now, I'm not sure that's exactly how they do it in Nepal, mate.
I think I'm getting wet here.
It almost worked!
Yeah, look at that! I'm soaking.
Back at his office in London, Matt has been mulling over his options. He's no longer sure about demolishing the coach house because that isn't the real problem. It's the main house that's draining all his resources.
Yeah, so from our plan initially, as you can see from these drawings, the house, in fact, has no detail to it because we were not planning to do anything to the house. And that was our driver initially, was just to create this comfortable winter residence. But Dick said, you know, you've got a huge amount of space there, which, whatever heat you are putting into it, it's still disappearing out the walls and ceiling and windows. So he said, start with the basics. Start with that. As a result, I've been looking at what measures we need to take in the house.
Suddenly, Matt is a man on a green mission. He wants a heating system that's carbon neutral, convenient and cheap. And the internet has got all the answers.
So there's the house without the solar panels, and then an impression of what sort of area we're going to need to cover. When you're trying to go green, there's certain things you have to compromise on, and if there is, you know, a small compromise on seeing these beautiful terracotta pan tiles on the roof because we need to get our hot water from the sun, I think that's a fair enough compromise.
Maggie Pete has also compromised to have her green dream.
God, what's that? Dave, whoa, stop. What was that then?
She lived in this caravan for 7 months while she gave her new home a green facelift. Maggie's just moved into the upstairs rooms, which have been decorated and restored using carefully selected eco-products. Work has started downstairs, but the next job is outside, a wildlife pond for her organic garden.
Wildlife pond? Ah, number one on your list if you garden organically, which I've been doing for many, many years. There are sort of must-haves, if you like, you know, hopefully attract lots of insects, but frogs also. And the frogs will hopefully help to keep my dreadful slug population down. And it says, bye-bye, caravan.
Come down this end up and give us a push at this end.
It's really been fine. And I've been lucky, so I'm lucky, but it's lovely to think that this is the next stage. And it's served its purpose. It's a sort of part of the process which is completed now, really. Good place to sit, eh? Look at the view there. Great, isn't it?
With the caravan gone, there's tons of space to build a pond. And that's where we come in.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Hello, James. Hello, Dick.
Lovely to see you again. Hiya.
Lovely to meet you. This is good, isn't it? It's real. This is the edge of the country, isn't it?
It's fabulous. We absolutely adore North Staffordshire. It's
Really?
gorgeous.
Maggie hasn't let the grass grow under her feet. She's just back from a sustainable garden design course, and she's planned the layout around her pond.
Well, let's just clear the area and start moving some of the slabs, because if we don't get started, we'll never get finished.
It's a big job, but Maggie has roped in plenty of volunteers.
Oh, all this extra help, it makes me smile. Because I usually just make James do all the work.
Work hard, Ellie. That's what I get all the time.
Yeah, he does it right. What's the chances of this stuff moving? It's probably a foundation or something.
I had no idea that was so big. It's really exciting, isn't it?
Oh dear.
What is it?
Doesn't look like very clean water.
Is it a well? Chris?
It's definitely not sewage, it doesn't smell.
No, just
Don't just yank things out of the ground until you're sure they're safe. This old tank is now history, so we can get on with the digging.
Just remember those out there.
That's good.
I've been dreaming about doing something like this for such a long time.
Really?
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
And when you've dug it, it's best to make sure it's level. The next job is to line the hole with sand.
It's to put in the bottom of the pond so that there's a nice smooth surface so that nothing punches through the lining. That's what I'm guessing at.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Yeah,
It's an intelligent guess.
totally different.
We dug the hole, we've smoothed the hole, we've put sand in the hole to make it smoother, then we've put shag pile carpet on the top to make it even smoother. And anybody else got any suggestions how to make it smoother? Like a baby's bottom.
I knew that phrase was going to come into this somewhere.
Back in the New Forest, the solar panels are being connected, and Matt's brother has come down to help out.
So all the roof work is done, and they're just finishing off some plumbing. So tomorrow we'll actually be switching over to solar hot water. The oil ran out, I think, on Sunday, and we've decided that's it. Last oil delivery ever. So it's good stuff. It's very exciting.
As well as the solar panels, 2,000 square feet of loft is finally being insulated, and they've uncovered the perfect spot for a solid fuel stove in the kitchen. A second log burner with a back boiler to heat water has also been fitted in the dining room.
You laid those tiles, didn't you?
I laid those tiles.
Impressive.
Knocked out the wall with Dan.
Yes. I painted it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Could have been better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, we have been all mucking in, but it's been difficult, getting 2 or 3 of us down at any one time for more than a day or so.
They may not have much time, but they do have 3 acres of woodland. And if they manage it well, they'll have no need for oil.
Finished the wood store and filled it with as many logs as we could chop from the trees that we've had taken down. Well, it's not all of them. It's a good start, so that when we've got the 2 stoves up and running, we've got our ready supply of hardwood. It's now a question of managing what wood we do have and making sure we use it as effectively as we can, yeah.
Matt is well on his way to a much greener heating solution, and the coach house is getting some long overdue TLC.
Yeah, so it's a very exciting time, actually, down here. But still a lot of work to do before we're fully up and running. So we should be totally sort of renewable.
One of the most important things about when you start digging your pond is to make sure that your pond liner is big enough to actually do the job. We've got some advantages here, because Maggie has bought a pond liner from hell. However, if you buy a small pond liner that just fits, then you have to make sure that you don't go over the top digging your pond.
I was desperate we had enough.
Yeah, we have. But actually, it's not excessively huge.
We haven't folded it yet.
I know. I'm just trying to make it look less bad, Maggie. Right? We can afford to come this way a bit. Just see. Is that it? Is that your water flow, Maggie? Could take some time with that, right?
Can we get some buckets to empty the water baths?
Absolutely. The pond. This is going to be lovely because Maggie's got it right together here. She's got all the plants, got everything else. And by the time this all goes, you can just see the frogs and the newts from Alton will all be heading in here.
Okay, so I thought we'd have soup today because obviously I've got the produce in the garden and they're working in the garden. It all fits in, and as the sun's shining, we can eat outside, which I love to do. And I also wanted them to do lots of work. Would you just slice all the bread up? Now, all local cheeses. This is an organic, local Staffordshire cheese with wild garlic in it.
Really?
And I thought I had to get some for my friend who makes it.
Yeah. Right. We're nearly full of water. We'll take a knife around the edge and trim around the edge at the distance you want to trim it off. And that's the pond basically done, except for putting the surrounds around it, isn't it? What about planting? Are you going to try and get some planting in today?
Yes, we can put in the lily. We can put in the oxygenating plants, that's it. Yeah, around the sides.
Can we have the taps turned off, Maggie? We just need to sort of trim this off.
Eventually, the pond liner will be concealed completely by grass and plants and wildlife. Maggie needs the pond to be safe because of her young grandchildren, and this pond guard sits millimetres below the water. Even Jim could stand on it.
This is the pond safety people that put in the grid in the back. I just thought their logo was absolutely fantastic. Don't know if that's on PC or not.
It's hilarious. Well, hold on, the end James can do is walking on water, but yeah.
Is that about it?
I did do that artistically. It just looked a little bit.
The bog garden on the edge of the pond will provide a slightly different habitat for plant diversity and wildlife.
That's going to turn into an ecosystem anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, very quickly.
You can have any size pond, all right? Maggie's gone for a huge one. But even a little thing like putting a sink under the ground or a basin, something that keeps the water in there and keeps it moist, the frogs are going to come. And when they come, it just means that your veggie garden gets the benefits of something marauding at night to eat the slugs and snails. That's got to make sense. Thanks for lunch, by the way. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah.
Pleasure.
Keep working. Thank you very much. Sure. All right. I hope it all goes well. I'm sure it will.
Perfect, actually, isn't it? Really, really pleased with it. And the frogs have come ever so quickly. Really excited. Meals outside, veg growing in the garden, friends coming round. Lovely.
Next morning, James and Jim head straight to Matt's place in the New Forest because there's a heavy-duty job that's right up their street.
No, this is the beast.
It's the way that the pallet's actually bending. It just looks heavy though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Everything about it looks heavy.
And we're just going to move it into the kitchen.
Just move it into the kitchen, yeah.
That's just.
Yeah.
340 kilograms.
340, there we go.
It's like a quarter of the weight of the car.
Ready?
Yeah.
So we can't lift it, but we can slide it.
Maybe stripping some bits off will make it lighter.
Saved about a kilogram.
Ready?
2, 3.
Okay, yeah. That's it.
Okay. Yep.
Perhaps they should phone a friend.
Okay, fantastic. Lovely, thanks very much. See you later. Bye. Great
Good
stuff.
news.
Sorted. Yeah, cool.
Up to 2 tons.
Right, I'll
Should
do
do
it.
it, right? Should do it.
Just got this delivered because it's
Go on, off you go.
It's heavy basically, and we don't have the right equipment to move it by ourselves. So health and safety, all that.
In other words, we gave up on trying to lift it by hand.
Yeah, it's going up, isn't it?
If we actually lay the planks out, we could roll it on that trolley that it's sitting on, just roll the trolley and just keep moving the planks as we go. We'll lay our own road.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, we need all of it.
Dog's thinking, what is going on here?
Whose idea was this trolley?
Running out of the way.
Yeah, okay.
Shall I get a short plank just to...
Put this short piece in.
We're making this up as we go along.
Should just about do it. Great stuff.
Out the way, dog.
Thanks, Ruben.
Right, next bit of road. God, we could do this for a living. It's a good job you had these planks lying around.
I know.
Okay.
So, it's going on a full tour of the house.
Look at this. Perfect. It's the right way round.
A week in bed.
Perfect. It's brilliant. And stop. Okay. Lovely stuff.
If people are doing this on a smaller scale,
Yeah.
what advice do you offer about the attitude of what's made you succeed in getting your whole system working?
To be honest, I think you just have to take the time and effort to learn what it is you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you've done here that you can't scale down onto a much smaller house.
not at all.
Yeah, wood burners, the solar thermal, everything can be done on a much smaller scale.
That's very true. Very true.
Next week, our most gigantic green gadget rolls up.
It looks like it's bigger than I thought it would be.
We convert gas-guzzling Gary to biodiesel. And we get sent back to school.
We're looking for some bottles to turn into hippopotamus.
Would you like me to turn the bottle into a hippopotamus?
Exactly, yeah. For more information about any of the projects featured in the programme, log on to bbc.co.uk/lifestyle.